Today, well, normally I always talk before I talk about whatever we're watching. Recently, I've been watching a lot of crime stuff, ranging from Rookie, Criminal Minds, SWAT, and stuff like that. I don't know why, but recently I've been into it a lot. Like, I like the mystery of things like this. So I wanted to watch like police actually finding bad people and stuff like that. So this one is uploaded by Dr. Insanity. Serial killer realizes police found his body collection. Like when I think about serial killers, I think of people like Zodiac Killer, uh, Jack the Ripper. Like if you try to think about serial killers off the top of your head, well, if I try to do it, I don't like know a lot of them. Cause if he's not like really famous, people aren't not going to really remember the serial killers. Some serial killers become killers because they want the fame, they want the attention and stuff like that. Some serial killers become serial killers because they have a mental problem. Some serial killers just do it because they want to, and that's still bad. But anyways, let's not waste your time. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notification if you want to see me do more of these videos. And let us start. My voice cracked.
Totally cooperating, just with my not doing anything without cooperating. Sir, I will be very cooperative. All right, let's try that, please.
That's not you on the 27th. Food Line parking lot, Traveler's Rest.
I don't think so.
Look, man. Where's that?
I don't know where Edna is.
Yes, you do.
It's not making sense. So you're the last person to be in a vehicle.
So he's denying?
Missing.
That sounds really up.
28 years ago, this man kidnapped a
28.
woman and was sentenced to 30 years in prison for it. 3 decades later, 80-year-old Edna Suttles is spotted picking him up in a parking lot. This would be the last time Edna was ever seen alive. Days later, detectives traced Edna's movement and discovered CCTV footage of the same man driving her car.
She's missing right now.
Yes, Dan, where is Edna?
I don't have a clue.
But that's when police found out Edna wasn't the only victim.
Oh,
If you tell him to turn that off, I'll talk to you a little more freely.
Sometime around 9 a.m. on August 27th, 80-year-old Edna leaves her home in Traveler's Rest to look after a friend. Hours later, 911 dispatchers receive a concerning call.
Greenville County 911, what's your emergency?
A fitter was supposed to show up to see with my mom today. Her name is Edna Subtle, and she didn't show up. This is not like her. She shows up like clockwork. So something's wrong.
But this call was only the beginning of a long chain of mysteries.
see, doing
As
things
officers arrived at
regularly
Edna Suttle's home
leads to
for a
people
welfare
that,
check
you
based
know,
on these
when
reports, they
when you leave
received
them,
no
they will help you.
response. There were no signs of a break-in, and Edna
But
was
if
nowhere
I
to be
disappear,
seen.
nobody will really
However,
care.
when
So.
police asked Edna's son, he pointed out that $50,000 worth of jewelry was missing from the home. More importantly, though, her car was missing too. If the cops could find that, they might be able to figure out where she had gone. This meant that finding Edna's vehicle would be the most instrumental step in this investigation, as it would give a clue about her last known whereabouts.
And the jewelry too,
Immediately, a
because
hunt
they
for
might bring it
Edna's
to a
car
pawn
began.
shop, so they
And
should
6
check
days
that too,
later,
right?
It was found abandoned in the parking lot of a hotel in Traveler's Rest. This was odd, as Edna lived close by
that
and
was-
didn't need to stay at a hotel.
that's
A check with the
so
staff
far.
also revealed that no one under the name of Edna was staying there. So to get to the bottom of this mystery, the cops decided to try and trace back Edna's movement using CCTV cameras starting from her home. At 9:30 a.m., a camera at a nearby pawn shop captures Edna leaving her home and driving towards a local
knew
Food
it.
Lion grocery store. 9 minutes later, Edna arrives at the store to pick something up.
Just
A man
said,
approaches the
check
vehicle
the
with 2
pawn
bags in
shop.
his hand
I
and
knew
sits
it.
alongside Edna,
That could be a good
then
detective,
drives off
you know?
back to her home. 4 hours later, at 1:43 p.m., Edna's car leaves her home again and arrives at the same Food Lion once more. But this time, the person exiting the driver's seat isn't Edna at all. It's the same old white man she picked up earlier, who immediately moves to his car and parks it next to Edna's. He then drags something out of her car, placing it into his. Initially, it was difficult to identify what the man moved from the Jeep to the Chevrolet, but after a frame-by-frame analysis, it wasn't a question
Look
of
at
what
plastic
was
bags.
moved, but who. Because in a chilling discovery, officers would realize the footage showed the unmistakable golden hair of Edna Suttles. 4 minutes later, at 1:47 p.m., the man drives Edna's car into the hotel's parking lot and parks it in the same spot that the detectives found the vehicle in. He exits and begins wiping down the door and seats, trying to get rid of any evidence of his presence. By 2:14 p.m., the man returns to his vehicle at Food Lion and drives off, marking the last that was seen of Edna and the man. The most crucial part of this investigation is to now figure out who exactly the man in the video is. But due to the grainy footage and his distance from most cameras, this proved to be difficult, and the investigation seemed like it would come to a standstill. But detectives had an idea. Since the man exited the store with bags in his hand, a purchase was made. This realization would be the most crucial breakthrough in the case. Immediately, officers began retrieving footage from inside the store, and when they reviewed it, they came to a harrowing
Is that
realization.
blood on his face?
This was Daniel Prince, a man who only 24 years prior to this got put in a federal prison for kidnapping.
Okay.
24 years prior to this incident, in
1997,
1997,
okay.
Daniel was responsible for the kidnapping of a woman in Michigan. He had her tied up, shackled her hands, and it was by sheer luck that she managed to free herself before escaping. Even though he was sentenced to a maximum of 30 years.
So back then he was an amateur, and then when he released,
on parole. But the worst was yet to come. Daniel began working as a handyman for predominantly
so when he
elderly single
released,
ladies,
he learned.
a demographic that not only
That's
matched
probably
his
what he was.
previous victim, but also that of Edna.
That's probably what he thought he could do. He thought he could get away with it.
They have a kidnapper
Cause
on
his,
the run, and there might be
he was
a
an
chance
amateur
that
then,
he's
but he
kept
thought he
Edna
was a pro now.
alive. Not knowing where she is, they had to act fast before this glimmer of hope dimmed. Even with this disturbing past, detectives didn't have enough evidence to press strong charges for kidnapping or murder. However, they had established probable cause for grand larceny involving Edna's Jeep. A warrant to arrest Prince and search his property was granted, and officers were quickly dispatched to Prince's residence to take him into custody.
Totally cooperating, just relax. Not doing anything, not cooperating.
I hope this guy doesn't really have kids, bro, cause they'll be heartbroken knowing that their father is kind of a bad
I will be
person.
very cooperative.
He also looks like the guy that
Armed officers
in
that
Don't,
just
Don't
descended
Breathe.
on Prince's property,
What's that
he
movie?
remained
You should check it
noticeably
out.
calm and composed, as if he had a plan to escape this predicament. The following footage was analyzed by our in-house criminal research specialist and retired detective to shed some light on key techniques and strategies used during the questioning. When he is brought into the interrogation room, the detectives start with a relaxed, friendly conversation, a tactic used to put suspects at ease. They don't want him to know they've caught him on camera just yet.
What do you do now?
I do a lot of home remodeling,
Okay.
home repairs. I lay a lot of tile, and I got a customer base that has me doing stuff.
Okay, so why Boston, North Carolina, come all the way down from, say, Michigan or
I'm
Wisconsin?
gonna go turn off the oven because my pizza is in the oven.
I'm
Okay.
originally from the east side of the state of Michigan, but I was in prison in Michigan for a while, and when I paroled to the west side of the state.
Okay. What'd you get locked up for? Because you said you got paroled.
I was locked up for a kidnapping charge.
Okay.
And I did 13 and a half years for that.
Oh, wow.
I did 1.5 years for a false statement on a vehicle title. You know, when they're not sure if they're going to make something, they want something to hold you with. So the false statement, that's all that was. The kidnapping, I was doing some bad shit that I shouldn't have been doing,
Fair enough.
but I shouldn't have gotten kidnapping, but I was doing some bad shit.
What kind of shit? What shit have you gotten?
I really don't want to say.
Why would he?
Just bullshitting.
Nothing when you're talking to two police detectives in a room. It's just bullshit. Okay, I've been through the system enough to know that. Yeah. All I'm going to say about that is I did my time. I made my first parole, and I haven't been in trouble since.
He made his first mistake of mentioning that. Like, he didn't have to say that.
What you've been through, they come out and they go
Why
right
am I?
back to it.
Why am I
Just
saying
because
that?
he's a
Why am I
convicted
saying
criminal
this?
doesn't mean he's involved in Edna's
I'm
disappearance, but the evidence
I'm
the
too
detectives
involved in
have
this.
paints a
Not
different
involved
picture
in the crime.
altogether
I'm talking.
from the hard-working, reformed criminal he claimed to be.
I'll talk to you about August
I thought I was
27th,
blood on his
2021
face,
this
so
year.
it's
What day of the week was that?
documentation.
It was a Friday.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so specifically the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
What, 2 weeks ago? Do you remember where you were at?
Not specifically.
Where do you think you were at?
I've been going all over the place. I've been back and forth to Charlotte. I've been down to South Carolina.
Like, where's your jobs in South Carolina taking you?
Actually, I was down to Traveler's Rest, but I don't know if it was Friday or Thursday. I know I'd been there earlier that week.
But you don't remember which day specifically?
No, it was either Thursday or Friday.
What kind of job were you working on?
I wasn't.
You wasn't?
I wasn't. This lady had talked to me several times. I'd been down to her house 2 or 3 times. We kind of got to be friends. This woman has so many damn problems, mostly her daughter. She would call me and have me come down there.
Okay.
She said she needed to have money at one point in time to help her daughter because her daughter was in jail. Then she needed money another time because she was hiring a private investigator. Because her son-in-law she talked to me all kinds of stuff about it. We got to be pretty good friends about stuff like that.
Okay. How'd you meet her initially?
Years ago.
Okay.
Years ago, it was somebody giving me her name or number, or her my name and number.
Here, the detectives are analyzing his behavior and allowing Prince to dig a hole for himself that he's going to struggle to escape from. When they reveal they know the truth, he's going to try and deny
Because he was
his
charged for
guilt, even when
kidnapping,
the
and then
evidence
he said
speaks for
something about
itself.
he did some bad shit back then. So maybe he did more than that, more than just kidnapping girls.
I don't think so.
That's not you.
That's me. Where's that?
Food Line, August 27th, 2021.
Oh, that's a
9:23.
couple years ago.
Okay.
32 seconds. Ringing a bell?
Yep. Yeah, I went down to Food Line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you doing down there that day?
She wanted me to look at some stuff at her house.
Okay.
And she picked me up at Food Line because she wanted me with her when she was gonna go meet some guy for private investigator.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us about that.
She wanted me to meet her down there.
Okay.
She was nervous because she
He's
said,
not
"I'm
talking
sure I trust
fluently
this guy."
like he was
And she wasn't
earlier.
in the military, and she says, "Will you meet me?" She wanted me to see if this guy was going to meet her where he was supposed to meet her.
Do you know where?
He's more tense. Y'all realize that? Like, when he was talking all fluently, talking about how he was friends with this girl, he was relaxed in the chair and stuff. But now he's just... He's thinking about the thoughts in his head. He's thinking what to say.
This is a common deflective behavior. Prince is not only trying to deflect suspicion away from
See?
himself, he's trying to point suspicion directly at someone else. In this case, the private investigator. According to Prince, Edna wanted to meet the private investigator the day before she was reported missing, even though she didn't feel safe meeting him alone. Luckily, detectives have seen the whole thing on camera, and it completely contradicts everything Prince is saying.
What were you driving? I was driving a blue car.
Your wife's car or your car?
My wife's car.
So that's y'all
Oh, that's a
coming out
wife.
25,
Yeah.
you and her together?
I feel so bad for her.
That's her car. That's about
Not really,
13:45
but
on
still.
the 27th.
Okay.
So you're with her there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
I hope he
Yeah,
doesn't
I'm not
have
saying yeah.
children,
I'm just saying
because
that could be
Yeah,
her.
it's a different angle. I mean, you know, we
especially
watched
if
this
they're
car,
young,
right?
they're gonna
Okay.
get bullied
Here's
if
y'all
any
in
of
the,
those kids find out,
hotel parking
or
lot.
the kids might be scared of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh look, there's y'all backing in.
Yeah.
And a couple of different copies of it. Backing in.
Yeah.
Oh look, you get out. Nobody else gets out.
I told you that.
You're walking around the car.
Yeah.
You wiped the entire car down.
Because I was worried.
You were worried. There's you walking across the parking lot in front of Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought it
there's
was nighttime then.
you getting back into your car and driving away.
Oh, she's with me.
Look, man, you are a good dude. I honestly do believe that you screwed
No,
up
you
years
do
and
not
years
believe
ago.
that at all.
Prince seems visibly stunned by the amount of photographic evidence the detective is showing him, and even though it can't be refuted, Prince is going to try and lie his way out of it. But that's not the only evidence detectives
Definitely.
manage to find along the way, as there's mud on the
Because
wheels
she
of
didn't
Prince's
leave the
car, leading
car.
detectives to believe
He said
he
she
drove
was with
off-road to
him. She
either
didn't
kill
leave the
Edna
car. She
or
wasn't
to dump
in
her
the blue
body.
car
And
either.
this
Because
is
the
when
blue
we
car was
arrive at
there
the pivotal moment
when
where
she and him
Prince's
left.
story starts to fall apart.
You're not a bad guy. Right?
I got a hammer in my
Nobody
hand. I
is
don't know
saying
why. Don't ask
that
me what.
you're some evil.
Yeah, maybe I'm
twisted
gonna hide
dude.
somebody's there.
We need to know where it is. We've processed the car. We found the dirt. Where did you go off road?
I never
Where did you leave?
Oh, I can tell you exactly where she and I had gone off road, please. When we were going from 25 south, there was, off to the right, there was a truck with a trailer and another vehicle there that had a for sale sign on it. And it looked like an older truck, and I needed a work truck. And I went ahead and I pulled in and with her, and then we pulled out. And it was right there on 25.
Even in the face of such overwhelming evidence, Prince still denies any wrongdoing and even tries to take control of the situation.
Can't blame
But
him for
detectives have
fighting.
him cornered, and
But you
he's
gotta know
quickly
when to
starting
give
to
up, man.
struggle
You
to maintain his composure.
Where's right now? Her family is desperately looking for her.
She's missing right now.
Yes, Dan, where is it?
I don't have a
what
clue.
do you think
I
she?
dropped her off at her house.
Dan, please listen. You did not drop her off at her house. We have followed that car the entire day, up and down 25. There's a number of minutes that are unaccounted for that are not by her house.
Which car? Mine or hers?
Dan, stop playing games. You know what we're
When I
talking
got,
about.
okay, I can help you here.
Okay.
You gotta give me a second. You gotta let me answer the questions when they're asked. When I
He's
dropped her
thinking
vehicle
again.
off, looking for the guy, she said she wanted me to take her and drive around in my vehicle. So I left her vehicle. I went down to Food Lion, and she was in my vehicle with me. And I dropped her off at home.
But she didn't.
Dan, we watched the video. She is not.
Exactly. She didn't even leave her
No,
car.
not in her car. Never. My car.
We
I
watched you
dropped
go
her
back
off
to
in
Food
my
Lion.
car.
You did not drop anyone
Didn't
off,
even leave.
man.
They should show him the whole
She said in my
footage.
car.
Just show him the
I
whole
went back and
footage.
got her.
No, you did not.
The detectives are beginning to apply more pressure on Prince, knowing everything he's telling them is a
I will
lie.
apply
But he
pressure on him
continues
too. I
to
can't
stay
be
on
a
the
cop.
defense, even
I would
trying
get
to
so
brush off
frustrated.
the
I
facts
might
that
hit
he
him.
might have destroyed potential evidence.
I don't know where it is.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Because at first he denied, yo, this person ain't me. Then, yo, hey, that's me.
Let's go back to why you wiped the car down. What you said you were worried about what?
The only thing I did was because I knew I'd been in and out of her car all the time with her. I'm like, there is no way in hell I'm going to just leave this thing here because she's got somebody that's after her.
Prince tries to deflect suspicion again by suggesting Edna may have been in some kind of danger, but he doesn't realize just how prepared these detectives are.
Who would be after her?
That guy with the truck, she said she didn't
Oh
trust him.
my god. He's still putting.
So somebody she hired as a PI.
His story's totally
He's so
different.
stupid.
He's been doing
Right?
work for her. I mean, on the son-in-law thing. I mean,
He said that somebody's after her. But she's hiring a private investigator for her daughter.
I mean, you're the last person to
Right?
be in a vehicle.
At least that's what I think I heard.
That's why we're here.
I've been real honest
But
with you guys. I
keep
told
up
you
with me
what was
now.
going on. time.
The
Why would the
detectives
person try
managed to
to
get Prince to
kill
admit he
be
was
after
with Edna
her
on
if
the
it's the
day
daughter?
she
Unless
disappeared.
the private
When Prince tried to
investigator knows
convince them he
her.
was helping her meet a
But
suspicious
that wouldn't be
private
the case.
investigator,
She
they know
no
it's a
meeting him in
desperate
the
attempt
first
to
place.
deflect suspicion and distance himself from the crime. Prince insisted he dropped
I
Edna
would be
off at her
surprised
home
if
safe and
he's
well,
not
but the
guilty and they
detectives
actually
established that
found
he was
out
the
that,
last person to see her alive, and because of this interrogation, they locked him into a lie that would eventually lead to a chilling confession. When detectives search Prince's property, they find several automatic weapons. Because of his previous convictions, he's forbidden from owning
Why?
any firearms. That means he could be facing a federal charge and be detained for even longer. While he's detained, they continue to search his land and find one of the most crucial pieces of evidence yet, a yogurt cup. This is the yogurt he bought shortly before Edna disappeared, and it's laced with a cocktail of drugs. Lorazepam, tramadol, and cyclobenzaprine can cause central nervous system depression when they're combined. When this happens, the body's neurological functions slow down. In other words, you're under sedation, exactly as Edna was in the parking lot when she was seen in Prince's car. After feeding her the laced yogurt, there's nothing Edna can do to stop him, and she's led away to her death at the hands
So what
of
he
this
do? He just
sadistic
killed
killer.
her and
Prince
just
begins to realize he's cornered and has nowhere to run, so they bring him back in for more questioning, where he makes a full confession as he admits to 3 more murders, including those of Lee Goodman, Dolores
3 more.
Sellers, and her daughter,
Lee
Nancy
Goodman.
Rigo. The first victim was Dolores. Daniel had euthanized Dolores Sellers at the request of her daughter, Nancy Rigo. However, Nancy began to have second thoughts and wanted to contact the police, putting her directly in the crosshairs of Daniel Prince, a mentally disturbed serial killer. Nancy Rigo was now his second victim. Even worse
Why is he
the
killing
fact
them
that
in
for
the first
several
place?
years, Daniel began
Does he have a
receiving
reason?
Nancy's social security checks because she had given him her power of attorney. Moreover, the search of Daniel's property would also reveal several of Nancy's documents. Since 2017, after her murder, Daniel pretended to be Nancy by sending her family emails and messages in an attempt to prevent them from thinking that she was dead. Daniel's third victim was Lee Goodman, who allegedly attempted to rob him, according to Daniel. Much like Nancy and Edna, her body was disposed of in some desolate area. And finally, Daniel's fourth and final victim
That's
was
where the
Edna
dirt on the
Suttles,
car
whose body
was.
would be found 1 year later on May 16, 2022, in a grave close to Daniel's home in Rutherford County. Although decomposed, officers were able to positively identify it as Edna and return the body to her loved ones.
The golden
Even in the
hair.
face of his crimes, he would never let go of his
I don't
chance
think
to
hair
leverage as
decomposed.
much information as he
don't.
could.
There was
Not too sure, but
quite a lot of stuff found in your B house. There could be a million explanations for some of that stuff, and I don't want to jump to conclusions.
the way he looked up,
that happened that you didn't intend to happen. Let's
yeah,
talk about it.
There are things
he looked up. The way he looked up
that
just
have
now.
to happen, and there are things that are going to happen. And I'm a realist, and I have acceptance with this. I would like a little bit of control in how they happen. If you tell them to turn that off, I will talk to you a little more freely.
When they turn the cameras off, Prince makes a final attempt to take control and influence the outcome in his favor. Daniel Prince avoided a trial by making a deal with authorities. He would tell them about the location of Edna's body, and in turn, his case would go federal because of the better living conditions in federal prisons. Not only that, but he would also avoid the death penalty and instead receive a life sentence. One would think that the detectives were naive to turn off their cameras and not record Daniel's confession.
Did they actually do
Unbeknownst
that?
to Prince, the investigators keep the backup audio recording running after shutting down the camera. This is the chilling confession they made.
I was thinking about that.
Let's put it this way. A person I was very good friends with wanted to do something to put someone basically out of their misery that was very closely related to them. That's one body. That person started having an extreme amount of guilt over this and decided they were going to go tell what had happened. That's the second body. There's a third body that I did not kill.
So he's a hitman?
They'd be getting Social Security disability for the rest of their life. So I got rid of
said bodies, for example, so that I could continue to use the car.
By
Oh,
any chance,
so
while
one of them he
get
didn't
all this
kill.
squared away, can you just help me get that closure for Edna's family?
Not until I have this. I clam up like a clam if this doesn't go federal for everything.
Wow. Did they give him federal? That's crazy. I still want to know if he went federal, because I hope not. Ooh. I couldn't be a cop. I will be a dirty cop. I will beat on that man for real. I can't be a teacher. I will whoop those kids. Bruh. You know how easy I would be irritated by this, man? I know you did it. Why you keep hindering what's gonna happen to you? But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And that's all for now. Bye.